I'm using the verbal frequencies to eliminate emotions that don't work with people. And I'm also utilizing and eliminating emotions. I interpret the numbers in a different way, more spiritually, but know that you have so many different frequencies, you can actually be an overwhelm. So I focus it on specific things that I need for my clients. Now, they're God's patients, they're my clients. So if I see a person as I'm going through that section and teaching and training that needs to be aware of certain things, I begin with the 4 most important ones in that book, which eliminating fear, which is the angels have told me it's the most important thing. 99.9% of humanity has some level of fear. You say that number, 8732-966-7488. You say that 15 times, 15 minutes before bed, and you will stop fear and the adrenaline rush and adrenal corticosteroids and the 38 hormones that are associated with that immediately. People won't have gut issues or reactions. People say, well, what about using it some other times? And I was telling them this example. I was on the way home from my office in Altamont Springs, Florida, on my way to my home in Apopka, Florida. It's a 10-mile drive, but I have to go through an intersection of 3 major highways. Lots of traffic off the 4 in Florida. As I got to this intersection, you had people coming off the freeway in a major truck, didn't see me, passed right in front of me. And then on the other side, someone going onto the freeway from the right didn't see that truck or me and nearly collided in front of me. I put my brakes on so hard, I thought the front end of my car was going to go into the ground. I used that specific number 50 times. So by the time I got home, the adrenaline rush was done, gone, and out of the picture.
And so the way you used it is by saying that code out loud 50 times in that situation.
Right. Lloyd and I had a disagreement. He said, oh, you only need it 7 times. I said, I'm a near-deather. No such thing with me. He said, well, there's no necessity for saying it 100 times. I said, but for me, it worked. And I explained to him what was happening. Know that the person who has that gift, and he had a near-death and he came up with this thing, the objective here was what would be universally used, and it was 7 times. But for my clients, I attract a lot of fellow near-deathers or people with chronic and serious illnesses, and I noticed that 15 times worked for me, and 15 times worked better for them. Now, there was one frequency in there for mycoplasma. And I actually said that one frequency 100 times. And I heard in my ears a sizzle. And I never had to say that number again. It was done. The thing that it was there for was gone. It disappeared. So instead of having to repeat it time and time again every day, I found that you can get to a max limit, not with all those numbers, but some, and they can be completely eliminated and never have to say them again.
So for reference, when I've worked with Dr. Scott in a one-on-one appointment, he has, at the end of our session, given me 1, 2, or 3 frequencies, and he'll tell me to say it 15, 30, or 50 times, once, twice, or 3 times a day, and then you'll let me know for how long I need to say it for, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, or an entire month.